In question number 8, Andrea has got two fair spinners. She's got A and B and their diagrams, which are nice and visual. Andrea spins spinner A, and you've got to calculate the probability that she gets a 2 with one spin. Very simple. There's 1, 2, and there's 4 outcomes, so it's 1 out of 4. You could write that as a percentage or as a decimal, but there is no point because 1/4 is an acceptable answer, 1 out of 4. Give your answer as a fraction. B, Andrea now spins both spinners at once, so the probability becomes a bit more complicated to calculate. She adds the number she gets on spinner A to the number that she gets on spinner B. Andrea works out the probability that the two numbers she gets add to 4. Here's her working. There are 4 outcomes, so 1 plus 3 is 4, 3 plus 1 is 4. There are 4 outcomes on each spinner, making 8 outcomes in total. The probability of the two numbers adding to 4 is 2 eighths, which is 1/4. Andrea has made some errors. Describe those errors. So there's 2 marks available, so there must be 2 errors that we're looking for. It says some, so 2 would be a good indication. 2 marks, 1 mark for each one. Let's have a look at working out or doing the working properly and then seeing what mistakes she might have made. That's the advice I'd give you on this one. So to start by working out how many possible outcomes there are, you'd list all of spinner A. So if we put A down one side and we put the outcomes on spinner A, we go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then make a little table. And then we've got spinner B. Let's put B up there. And we've got 1. No, we've not got a 1. We've got a 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sorry. So we've got a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Then we can make a little table of potential numbers that would add together and make a 4. Okay, so I've done that fairly badly. You could do that a little neater, but it doesn't really matter. We've got 1 plus 3, because remember we're adding these numbers together. So that would be 4, and then 5, and 6, and 7. You can fill the table in. Sometimes they give you these tables to fill in. Sometimes it's nice to know that you can just make them yourself. So you've got 5, 6, 7, and 8. You've got 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then you've got 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there aren't 4 outcomes. That's one mistake that she's made there. She said there are 4 outcomes. There aren't. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 4 by 4 grid, 16 outcomes. So there are actually 16 outcomes, not 4. 4 outcomes on each spinner, not 8 in total. So that's our first mistake. And the probability of the two numbers adding to 4 is 2 eighths, which is 1/4. But there's actually only one number that adds. So the probability of getting a 4 is actually only 1 out of 16 that are there, so 1/16, not 1/4 like she thought it was. So there's her 2 mistakes. Okay. Right, let's have a look at the next part of the question because it links. So I have done that and I've left this bit here because I think it might be useful. Find the probability that the two numbers she gets add to a 6. Well, we've done all the working out already down here, so we can see that we've got this, this, this. They are the 3 ways of adding to a 6, and so we get 3 out of the 16. And that's a very simple 3 marks to get, having just done some working out to get those 2 on that part of the question. Always nice because it tends to be nicely written in a way that you can get some marks on a later question, having done some work on previous questions sometimes. So that's nice. We've got 3 out of 16. as our final answer. And just got to make sure you put in the answer space. That's it.